People in coercively controlling relationships sometimes aren't even aware of it themselves. It can be very hard for psychiatrists to detect coercive control, for example. The idea that two doctors are going to spot if somebody's in an abusive relationship, I think that that's for the birds.
But these are higher standards, aren't they, than we have in many countries who've had those laws in place for decades?
But we're talking about what's right for the UK and what we think will detect coercion in the UK. Two doctors signing off is not going to do that. I've written about domestic abuse and coercive control. Even when these issues go to the family courts and you've got family court judges, some of them very experienced, running investigations, doing fact findings into whether there is coercive control and abuse, when there's an allegation of it, even then they get it wrong.
Sonia Sodha, I suspect you're not fully comfortable with that 6-month time frame?
Well, I think the issue is it's very hard to draw a tight definition around this, and the law will be ambiguous. And if you look at Oregon, where again, it's limited to people with terminal conditions, what you've seen is that doctors, as a matter of policy, have just started defining some conditions as terminal. So extremely controversially, you've got some doctors in Oregon who have qualified anorexia as a terminal condition and offered assisted dying to people with anorexia. Now, survivors of anorexia find this horrifying because they say doctors give up on anorexics too easily. 6 months is also incredibly subjective. When you speak to palliative care doctors, they say that it's a guesstimate when you're talking beyond days as a matter of life expectancy. Finally, what I would say is that there are some very experienced lawyers who don't think that in law this sort of distinction will hold up, that the law, if it's, as Charlie recommends, and as is in this bill, is passed, it will be subject to discrimination-based challenges in the courts under the European Convention of Human Rights.